Welcome to the second session of the week. In this case, we're just reviewing the basic vocabulary and grammar for each of our lessons that we do in our virtual class in Google Meet. So you can check these videos whenever and wherever you want if you have any doubts or questions about the basic material. So I'm your instructor, Joey Walker, and we're working on Unit 9, Lesson B, A Trip to Egypt from our course book Face to Face, second edition. So let's start. In this session, we will learn natural places vocabulary, okay? And we will learn how to use comparatives. So in this case, we're going to check the vocabulary. This is the countryside. Countryside, check. All of the green areas, everything is so spacey. There's not a lot of huge buildings. So this is the countryside. Okay, many people enjoy living in the countryside. Many people enjoy going to the countryside to visit. Then they live in big cities. Depends, right? Here we have a forest with tall trees. Okay, so we have a forest. Next item here, we have a mountain. This is a mountain. So it looks like the mountain from Paramount Pictures, actually. Here we have a river. This is the river. This would be the mountain. We have an island. Remember an island? And here we have a lake. This would be the lake. Okay. Next item for our vocabulary. We have the sea. We have the desert. We have the desert, the sea. The desert, just like back in my hometown. Here we have the woods. What's the difference between the woods and the forest? The woods is a patch of land with trees, and the forest is a huge patch of land. Okay, what's the difference between a hill? This is a hill, and a mountain. Well, the hill is smaller. The mountain is quite big. Okay. Now, here we have some other attractions. Since we're talking about going to Egypt, we couldn't mention Egypt without talking about the pyramids of Egypt. Okay. Here we have a mosque. This is like the church for Muslim people. Okay. Here we have a coral reef. Here we have someone snorkeling. Okay. Last lesson we saw diving, you use an oxygen tank. But snorkeling, you use a mouthpiece to breathe. And you don't go deep, it's superficial. And finally, we have a camel. Okay? So those are words that we are going to use in our lesson. Next, we're going to check comparative adjectives. Whenever we're talking about comparative, we are comparing two things. Okay, there are two ways to form a comparative. Whenever we use one syllable adjectives, remember our comparative adjectives, whenever we use one syllable adjectives, we use the ending ER and the expression than. For example, bigger than. The elephant is bigger than the mouse. Small, we use smaller, ER, smaller than. So we say the mouse is smaller than the elephant. Okay, nicer than, we can compare nice, check. We use ER, but if it already has an E, we just write the R. So we say nicer than. We can say Acapulco is nicer than Chilpancingo, for example. Acapulco is nicer than Chilpancingo. Say taller, taller than. We can use an example. The Eiffel Tower is taller than the Torre Latino in Mexico City. Shorter, shorter than. Okay, let's say the Nile River is shorter than the Amazonian River or the Amazonas, right? Stronger than. Check, we have ER, 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 stronger than. Okay. We can say the Hulk is stronger than Thor, for example. Weaker than, longer than. Okay? Check. We use ER, or R if we already have an E. Sing. We have IER then. We use IER whenever we have an adjective that finishes with a Y. We have to change it for I. Remember, this is for one syllable. Also, intermediate consonants between two vowels, we put a double, for example, bigger. Here we have easier than, busier than, prettier than, heavier than, funnier than, smellier than, happier than, friendlier than. I can say English is easier than Spanish. Mexico City is busier than Toluca. You can say, among some other things. Uh, Prettier than. We can say the sea is prettier than the desert, heavier. The mountain is heavier than the hill, and so on. Now, check to finish. This is one syllable ending with a Y, and here we have more than one syllable. So long adjectives, the ones that have more than one syllable, we use the end expression more or less when we keep the than. For example, more beautiful than. Acapulco is more beautiful than Chilpancingo. Okay? More dangerous than. For example, we say a lion is more dangerous than a zebra. More intelligent than. Albert Einstein is more intelligent than me. All right. For example, so remember, the more than two syllable adjectives, we use more or less. Less dangerous than. For example, a piranha is less dangerous than a shark, for example. We can use that. Okay. So to finish this, I will ask you, what are some things that you can compare? How does your hometown compare to other cities? Feel free to write your answers in the comments. So until that, we will finish until this moment with this explanation. We'll work on it later on in our video call. So have fun, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.